To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and welcome to my world of wonder, where I am joined by my beautiful wife and co-host, Mrs. Adriana Parker.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to tonight's show, everybody. We've got a little bit of a different one planned out for the day. I don't know. Something new, yeah. Something that I've wanted to do for a while, but never really had the time to... I don't know. I guess I've had plenty of time to do it, just haven't actually done it. But we took the time. I made it happen today. So
Nice.
We share our own stories a lot on here, our own stories about trips to Disney and whatnot.
Yeah.
But today we thought we would share some stories we found on Reddit with some other people's stories. I just went in onto Reddit and I was like, weird Disney stories. I didn't want anything gross or anything creepy yet.
Yeah, okay.
Like, let's introduce it as weird things, like strange things that happen to people in Disneyland.
Nice.
Or Disney World, of course.
Or awkward funny
Or
things.
like awkward funny things, yeah. So we have 5 of them that I picked out today.
Okay.
I will say that this particular question,
Mm-hmm.
what's your weirdest Disney story, didn't have a whole lot of really good stuff, but that's a good jumping off point, I think. So
Okay, cool.
there's stories.
Yeah.
They're not good stories, but they're stories.
Nice.
So that's what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Before we get too far into things, how are you doing today?
I am tired.
Likewise.
But I'm fine. I felt like I've been having lots of allergies lately, but it's going away finally, so
That's good. I'm still in the middle of that. Can't tell if I'm having allergy issues or if I'm having a cold issues. I think it's cold at this point.
yeah,
I feel like I'm getting over a cold.
Over the hump.
But it's been weird because it was never clear the whole time whether I was sick or just had allergies.
Yeah, it was you didn't feel super bad like you did that one time.
Yeah, exactly. But oh well,
which is good.
we're here. We're breathing. We're alive.
And I got
Little
3
sniffly.
more days till summer.
How exciting for you.
Yeah. I'm excited for summer vacation.
And with that, probably a little bit of an adjusted schedule here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have this Monday night live stream a little bit earlier. Moving for at least in the summer.
Yeah. That's fine.
8 o'clock is pretty late, I feel.
Yeah.
Because I every time we get done with it, we're like, all right, we're going to finish and we're going to get ready for bed. And then there's no time afterwards. So I like to move it up a little bit earlier in the day. But
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
In the afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, next week there will only be an episode of Noah Parker's World of Wonder.
Yes.
We will not have an episode of Game Night. There may be a DCOM Kids episode. I don't know. That's going to depend on if I get my stuff together and I sort us out so we can actually have it. But yeah, we will be skipping Game Night for sure because we will be in Disneyland. Yes. However, we may live stream still. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or
we might live stream in the park.
Are we planning on doing any videos when we're there or no?
Yes, we're definitely going to be filming while we're there.
Okay, cool.
Probably not as much as I do when I go to Disney World, because the purpose of those trips to Disney World is to make content. Whereas our trip next week is not, the primary focus is not. It's our vacation. It's to be us together and have fun. I want to get some content out of it too, fun, but yeah,
we'll do it.
It's not the primary focus, so it probably won't be as much, even though we're there longer than I'm usually at Disney. But come September, we'll have plenty more content to come because I'll be going to Disney for 3 or 4 days. It's a lot of time to film some stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully meet some all ears cast members, but whatever. All right.
Still haven't yet, but
yeah. I would say we have dyed the grass sufficiently at this point, so we can get right on into the episode, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we'll just take turns reading the stories.
Okay.
That way we can take turns speaking, so it's not just one of us the whole time. And I'll go ahead and start off.
Okay.
Just because.
All right.
I have no reason for that. So these are stories that I got off of Reddit, and I named myself. So the titles for these stories are...
You named the titles?
I gave them the title based off of what I read.
That's
so
cool.
So this one is called Intruders in the Lunchbox.
Nice.
So this story starts out. I was having lunch at Woody's Lunchbox in Hollywood Studios. It was the lunch rush and all the tables were full. We, a party of 2, managed to grab one of the small round tables finally after a nice couple had finished up. Then, out of nowhere, a family of 6 descended upon our table, sat down, then asked if it was okay to sit there.
The heck?
In that order.
What the heck?
We were like, I guess, but it's not really a shareable size table. Yeah. So now we're all scrunched on this table, awkward. Just trying to eat lunch. But this is where the really weird part is. The family proceeds to pull out a bag of pizza from their stroller. Everyone in the family grabs a slice from the bag and starts chowing down. They did not even have food from Woody's Lunchbox. They could have eaten anywhere in the entire park. Instead, they chose one of the most crowded lunch areas they could find, rammed themselves into a table, and went to town on their own bag of pizza. Wow. Still one of the most confusing things that has ever happened to me in Walt Disney World. Terrible at the time, but now a running joke.
I can totally see that happening in real life. Like,
well, it did happen in real life.
Yeah, I can just see it. Like, people just feel like the world revolves around them.
No, for real. The funny thing too about Woody's Lunchbox is that, like, I'm pretty sure now, if you're not eating food from Woody's Lunchbox, like, there are cast members that will keep you from sitting there. Like, you don't just get to sit there. Yeah. Especially because of how crowded Woody's Lunchbox is. I did also see earlier this week randomly that they're putting some more covered seating in, or at least covering some of the seating at Woody's Lunchbox. So that's like a side note thing, but yeah, because like it had been just basically in the sun. Yeah. The entire eating area at Woody's Lunchbox was just in the sun. Yeah. But now they got some cover. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm confused. Why? Like, did they? Because you said it was a 2-top table, right? Or
it's a small round table.
Oh, small. Okay.
They were a party of 2, but it's a small round table, okay. Not big enough for 6 people.
I wonder if they just had
like
extra
it was
chairs
honestly probably a 4-top.
Okay, and
I don't know. I think it's wild.
I would have been so annoyed if that happened to me.
Oh, me too. I would have been like, no.
But I feel like...
Or I would have just got up in a huff and walked away and made them feel bad about it, I'm kind of petty like that, where I would try to make them feel guilty about me having to get up from the table that I waited for.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I wouldn't have it. I'd be like, sorry, no thanks.
Yeah, that's wild. Well, the thing, too, is, like, in that story, like, she says, I assume it was I think I remembered seeing that it was a girl who posted that, but whatever. The person who posted that, like, made it clear to say that, like, they came over and forced their way down at the table, like already had sat down, and then asked if it was okay.
That's so ridiculous.
So, yeah, that's wild. Don't do that, guys. Have some courtesy, okay? Ask and then sit down, not the other way around. And if they say no or they seem hesitant, don't
like
push it. Like, yeah, my thing is, like, a lot of times for me too, like, people will ask me something, but I'm hesitant, but like, I agree because I'm a pushover, honestly.
I mean, you really...
But, like, people you gotta read that in people sometimes, Yeah. Like, if you can tell that they're hesitant and they really don't want you to, but they say yes, like, be respectful and maybe just be like, I can tell that you don't actually want me to sit here, but you're being nice. So I'm going to be nice back and not sit here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like you would probably... just like let it happen, but
I think I'd stand up and leave.
Yeah, dang.
Or I'd be really passive aggressive.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, I say that, but then I don't know. I'm also like the guy who will make friends with just about anyone. But I feel like that's pushing a boundary for me. Like,
especially if you're like at a
if it was me and you, it's not a reservation.
Okay, well, you were waiting for a very long time.
Yeah, if you've been patiently waiting for a table to open up, and then these people appear out of nowhere. Yeah, no. Anywho, all right. Okay. Story 2.
Next one.
Yeah, story 2. Up to you. Go ahead.
Pizza. They brought their own food too. That's ridiculous. Okay, a pig for the road. This one's called a pig for the road. Me and a friend of mine went to Trails End a few years back.
Trails End. I have to double check, but I'm 95% sure it's the restaurant. Whoa. My brain just hold on. I got it in there. It's in here somewhere. Trails and it's. I think
Animal Kingdom.
No. The campground. Campground. Oh yeah. Okay, I was right.
Okay.
Sorry, it is the restaurant at the outpost.
Oh, nice.
At the campground. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so they went to Trails End a few years back. I love breakfast buffets because I can just get a plate after plate of mountains of bacon and feel no shame. Same. I was enjoying my bacon, sausage, and fried chicken. Weekends did a brunch where you get some dinner food on the menu too. Some guy a few tables down was eyeballing me. I couldn't care less if someone wanted to watch me eat, so I immediately went for plate number 2 with more bacon and sausage. Guy still staring, but now looks a bit surprised as I continue to eat. Plate number 3 is halfway down before he comes up to me. This is, I guess, I assume this is what they said.
This is what the man said.
You know, son, I've been a pig farmer for 48 years, and it does my heart good to see a guy like you eat so much pork. I looked at him, then back at my plate, then back at him. I still got at least another plate and a half in me. Dang.
That's a lot of bacon. I can feel my cholesterol.
Yeah, my arteries clog up.
Yeah. Like, that sounds
crazy.
like so much bacon.
Dang.
But
that's too much.
I do love me some bacon, so
yeah.
I couldn't eat that
and
much.
Breakfast buffets are
buffets are where it's at. But here's my thing, okay? Breakfast buffets at Disney World, like, hear me out. It's not even the Mickey waffles that get it for me. You know what does it for me at the buffets?
What?
The freaking home-style hash browns. The potatoes. Oh!
They're good.
I could just eat mountains of those.
They're really good.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, I like the sausage and the bacon too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think when we went to Tusker House with Mom and Dad, like, my second plate was mostly just the hash browns.
Potatoes or the hash browns.
It was so good.
It is really good.
But I do love Mickey waffles, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There were Mickey waffles on my plate as well, but it was like
yeah, same. I like those.
6 pounds of potatoes to 1 pound of everything else.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. Ugh,
that's an exaggeration, but it's fine. All right, story number 3. Finding Grandpa. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I named these after reading them and just, I don't know. Something happened. All right. We were in line for Peter Pan. There was a family a few groups behind us with a grandpa. The line was taking forever because the ride was down for a bit. And as we snaked through the queue, we noticed the grandpa slowly moving forward through the line, cutting in front of other families. At this point, we were getting confused because we thought he was with the family a few groups behind us, but they didn't display any signs of telling him to come back. It also didn't seem like English was their first language, so we didn't say anything. Eventually, he got in front of us and slowly but surely moving up the line. Everyone around us was confused, but somewhat amused. People started strategically cutting back in front of him, and he ended up right back in front of us, along with the group of high schoolers we were next to. My wife and I made our move around a corner and then formed a line to prevent him from passing again. By the time we were on the ride, we saw that Grandpa reunited with his family. Still not sure exactly what was going on, but it was something everyone in that line thought was odd but funny.
That is hilarious. I wonder how old this grandpa was.
Right? When I was reading the story, I was imagining he was just like an old man.
Yeah.
And he just like was walking next to somebody, but then they would stop and he would keep walking, right? And then there'd be another person next to him, and he would not notice that it wasn't the same person. Like, he's just in a different world.
He's just in his own mind.
So
that's hilarious.
That's because like it doesn't sound like he was like elbowing through people. Like he wasn't like excuse me. It's like he's just kind of moving and just ended up where he ended up. I feel like
people didn't like say anything though too. Well, because it said the English probably wasn't their first language.
Yeah.
And B, it's an old man. I mean,
right.
Like, you can't be mean to an old man. You can't yell. You can't be like, hey. Like, you can't get angry.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be so mean, so sad.
For real.
That's just, you can't do that. That's hilarious though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something my grandpa would do.
Honestly, I could see it.
Oh gosh.
Right on. Okay, well that was mine. So this one's yours, and I do have my own separate note at the end. But
at least that one isn't.
Oh, hi, how are you?
What?
I switched to the wrong camera. That's all.
At least that last story wasn't like just those stupid like teenagers just like purposely cutting in line.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 4. Galaxies collide. A minor one and not so weird, but this was shortly after Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened, and when me and family went to check stuff out there before jumping to Animal Kingdom and jamming in as many Flight of Passage runs as possible. They weren't Disney annual pass holders, so they only got to the parks every once in a while. I had an Alpha Centauri Expeditions t-shirt on, which were you to know me, of course I did. The cast member at Millennium Falcon Smuggles Run sees that and is like, they stop, does double take. Ace, huh? Swear the guy pointed it out to another cast member as well, and I was eyeballed and sized up multiple times. I thought this little meta Easter egg enter franchise land rivalry thing, whatever it was pretty funny. At the time, Galaxy's Edge cast members were at least a bit in character about stuff, well, as much as they ever were, so I figured it must be something. But Ace and its operation exists from the perspective of Galaxy Edge's universe, and I'm obviously a well-traveled interstellar tourist to be showing up on Bot 2. With that... Was that it?
Yeah.
I don't get it, to be honest, but it's because I'm much of a Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm a fan. But,
So the whole premise of the story there, the whole thing, they were going to Galaxy's Edge just to check it out because they'd never been. It just opened, right? Mm-hmm. But their plan was to go over to Animal Kingdom and just ride Flight of Passage a whole bunch, right? Mm-hmm. So he was wearing a shirt related to that, which is Alpha Centauri Expeditions, or ACE.
Okay.
And he was wearing the shirt, and one of the cast members in Galaxy's Edge said something about the shirt, made a comment about the ace on his shirt. Which, Is
that like a Star Wars reference, Ace?
No.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, keep going.
That is the whole point. That is the whole point of this story.
Oh, okay.
That it is not a known Star Wars reference.
Okay. And they're like out of character.
That's the question. That's what he's asking here. Like, is this a Star Wars reference as well? Does it exist? And that's actually where my side note comes in, because I actually like that way of thinking, that we can like bridge the gap between Avatar and Star Wars by maybe, because Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
What if, like during the Clone Wars or something, right, there was an expedition service, a cruise line, I guess you could say, that was called Alpha Centauri Expeditions, right? And some way, somehow, one of their ships got jettisoned into outer space, and it just went flying across the solar system. Maybe got stuck in light speed or something. Yeah. And it fell out, ran out of fuel, and coasted and crashed as a UFO into the Earth, basically, right? And then we find it, and then some billionaire decides to fund Alpha Centauri Expeditions, and he founds it based off of the crash that he found here.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Like a way to link it together.
Yeah. Huh.
So,
wow.
I don't know.
That's cool.
I find it interesting, and it kind of ties into like Ahsoka a little bit, because Ahsoka made it possible. Like aspects of the Ahsoka series made it possible for intergalaxy travel, right? Because
that's true.
And I guess it'd be intergalactic travel, because a lot of what we see in Star Wars right now is like interstellar, so it's within the galaxy, but it is different solar systems within the same galaxy, right? Whereas Ahsoka took us outside of the known Star Wars galaxy and put us elsewhere. So, there's a possibility that there could now be Star Wars overlapping on Earth.
That's true.
However, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So we're talking like a couple 100 years at least.
Dang. Nice. That's mind
Yeah.
boggling.
But there is an extended universe story. Basically, there is a crossover. I think it's comic book, actually. That's a crossover between Indiana Jones and Star Wars, where Indy basically finds Chewbacca and Han's skeletons.
Oh, wow.
I think. I don't remember if that's exactly how it goes or not, but it's something like that.
Wow.
It overlaps with Chewbacca, and with Han Solo, and with Indiana Jones, because they're both Harrison Ford.
Okay, interesting.
Anywho.
Nice.
All right, time for our final story. Since I talked a whole bunch right there again, I'll let you read this story as well.
Guardian of the Bin. Mine happened a few weeks ago. I was eating at Pecco's Bill with my daughter when she started to choke. I jumped up, grabbed her arm and threw the tray out as I ran her to the restroom, which was next to the trash can. She spit the food out and was fine. Then I realized that I threw my Invisalign aligners out with the food tray. Ew. That sucks.
Yeah.
I had to get a CM
cast member
to dump the trash can on a bag we spread out on the floor so I could dig through and find my liners, which were wrapped in a napkin. At that point, I would just be like, yes, yeah, I'm just gonna not.
I don't know. Those liners are pretty expensive.
I mean, I guess. Yeah. While I was guarding the trash can, waiting for the cast member to return with plastic gloves, people pushed past me and threw more food on top. Oh my gosh, that's so rude. They didn't know what was going on or why I was trying to keep the trash can all to myself. Dang.
Yeah, that's the whole story. See, some of these weren't
that's crazy.
Super great stories, but I don't know. That was the best out of what was left. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. Man, that sucks.
That does suck. But no, for real, like, the Invisaligns they're pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. So, like, I get it. Like, yeah. I think I would probably do the same thing. Except I don't know that I would wait for a cast member. I'd probably just stick my head in there and just start digging.
Yeah, it sucks that like one problem happened and then another problem happened.
Right, like that's super unfortunate.
For a series of unfortunate events.
Unfortunate. I'm glad that her kid was okay.
Yeah.
It sounds anyway. She said that her kid was okay, right?
Yeah.
So, that is good. Yeah. Hopefully she found. That's the funny thing about this story is she doesn't actually conclude whether she actually got them or not.
Like I'm curious. Yeah.
I'm assuming she did because like why would you go through all the trouble to pull them out and then dump out the trash and dig around for it if you didn't find it? Like
that's true.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, there you go. That is the end of our story time.
I like this.
It was kind of fun. I do want to do some more of this, but we're gonna do. Different
series. Yeah.
It'll be a different one where we ask, what's your most romantic Disney story or something like that. It'll be fun to do like around our anniversary or something.
Wink.
Wink. Get some ideas for our next trip. But yes.
That's funny.
But yeah, that will bring us to our next segment, and I think this is the right cue for it. What's going on in Mickey's neck of the woods? That's right, folks. Oh, you probably don't want to be looking at that. Our show notes. That's not helpful. We're going to go over to Instagram where we got a couple of things going on. And I was only able to find the slides for two of them. The other one I lost. But firstly, we have some new visitors coming to Epcot and Disney's California Adventure. Phineas and Ferb are available for meet and greet at DCA and at Epcot. Epcot is not actually started yet. I think that starts on June 4th. June 1st, sorry. So they'll be available to meet on June 1st at Epcot, but they are available to meet at DCA right now. So you can rest assured that we will be going to meet Phineas and Ferb for sure. I'm excited about that. I hope the lines aren't too bad, but it's also really exciting because in addition to they're doing this obviously because they're making a new season of Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
I'm honestly really excited for it.
Yeah, they haven't obviously posted it yet, right? They're just
it comes out in June.
Okay.
I think like June 6th or something.
That's crazy.
But yeah, Phineas and Ferb meet and greet characters at Epcot and Disney's California Adventure. Nice. When they are in Epcot, it doesn't actually say where they're going to be. So, oh, this actually says, plus keep an eye out for Agent P at Disney California Adventure as well.
Oh, nice.
So we might be able to meet Perry as well.
Nice.
But I don't know where they'll be at Epcot, but once I know, I'll tell you as well. Then the next thing is Disneyland is, of course, celebrating their 70th anniversary, and one of the big deals that they've done is this key. It's like the key to Disneyland. So there's these little points all over the park where you can touch, like, this is like key. It's like a plastic key with lights on it and stuff. And there's little places where you can put the key in different lands throughout Disneyland Park. And it will unlock that land to your key. And once you have unlocked all, what is it, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you've unlocked all 9, no, 8's 8, sorry. Key points, it does a little special song, and you go out. Well, I guess you have to go to like an activation point. There's there is 9 stops, I guess.
Okay.
There's 8 lands, and there's a final where you go and you put the key in, and it'll go, and then a little door will open, and you get yourself a collectible pin.
Nice.
And there are 8 different pins.
Nice.
Or is there 9? There's 9 pins, I think. But well, okay. Here's what I think is annoying about that. Okay.
Like, when we do it, is it just going to be, like, 1 pin for both
We'll
of
get
us?
1 pin. Unless we both get a key.
Well,
then we can each have our own pin. But otherwise, it's 1 pin. And that's what I think is kind of annoying about it, is they're $60 a piece.
Yeah.
Which I could rationalize. I would be fine with us each getting 1. So we can each have our own pin.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't think it's like...
I'm not going to go spend $60 8 times so I can get every pin.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess there are going to be scalpers. There's going to be people out there who will do it. And they'll sell the pins on eBay, but they'll charge you $80 for just the pin that they got out of it. I'm not supposed to tell anyone this, but Tim Tracker already told people there is a way to override. Like, if we are there and for some reason we're not able to get all of them and we have to come home without completing it, we can still get the pin out.
Oh, okay, nice.
There's a way to override it and make the key believe you have gotten all of them.
Interesting.
I'm not going to tell how to do that. If y'all want to know, you can find it, but just do it the right way. But if you do have to leave the park before you get to finish it, there is a way out.
Nice.
The other thing that I don't have a slide for, or didn't have anything for, is that there are these little touch points around as well, where you just touch your magic band and it prints out, it like pops out a little like postcard sticker kind of thing.
Okay.
There's like different ones. That's as specific as I can be without having it in front of me. I was trying to find it before the show started, but I ran out of time. So.
Okay. Nice.
They're kind of cool. That's all stuff we will be covering when we get there.
Yes.
In just a week.
Yeah.
A week from tomorrow.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh, I gotta start working on Lightning Lane stuff. I think I don't know if I can't remember if I can pick it a week ahead.
Pick our hotel too. Maybe we can do that on Friday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
On Friday, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, that's all for today's segment of What's Going On in Mickey's Neck of the Woods. I got nothing else. I'm tired.
That's it, y'all.
I'm ready to go to bed. Well, not to go to bed. I have some stuff I have to do first. Yeah. But, yeah. Well, you talk about socials.
Oh, okay. Well, you can follow us on the YouTubes, obviously here at the Noah Parker _ channel. You can follow us over on TikTok at Noah Parker's World of Wonder, where I post TikTok videos every day. And I believe, we also just follow us on Facebook and Instagram on Noah Parker's World of Wonder as well.
Excellent. Marcy and I should have a new episode of DCOM Kids out this Friday. That's going to rely on me getting my stuff together still again. So I think I have to write it tomorrow, and then we have to film it hopefully she's available to film when I'm available to film.
Oh, Marcy's there.
Oh, Marcy's here. I'm gonna have to text you when I'm done here, Marcy. Hello. And then of course Adriana and actually I think this week I am doing a game
Okay.
I'll be playing MC Parks this week.
Okay.
For game night. So hopefully my friend Percy will join me. But if not, that's okay. We'll have a good time just wandering around Universal Orlando Resort. And I think that's all I've got. Yeah, right
Have
on.
a good night, y'all.
Yeah, and until next time, my dear friends, let the wonder take hold. That's not the right one again.